This is the FPV Raptor, and I'm gonna show in this video an idea about how to set up this airplane for FPV. The airplane itself, it's great for this purpose. It has a wingspan of 1.6 meters. It's a beautiful bird. Let me show you. The weight, the final weight without my flying batteries is about 2 pounds. So those 2 pounds, maybe 2.5 pounds, and the total flight with all my batteries in, because I'm using 2 batteries for this FPV setup, it is about 3 pounds. So it's a 3-pound plane, and it's almost fully FPV. It has a large compartment right here. Oh. It latches inside, and then it has a small plastic piece that will secure it in place. Not the best way to do it, but it works. I just wanted to show you the space inside, in case you want to buy one. It has a lot of space. However, there's a big mistake when they build a plane. They have a lot of space here, but it's covered. So probably what I'm gonna do in the future is just cut this piece of plastic and reinforce it somehow, lower, so you can still have the same structure. But you have to get rid of this, because otherwise you can't really work. I mean, it's really hard. See, my hand goes in here, and sometimes you have to reach for stuff. Obviously, you have to work everything before you put your wings in place. Now, the idea that you can take the wings off and put them back again is just simply doesn't work, because everything is held in these 4 screws, and it's plastic. And if you're gonna keep screwing unscrewing them, you're gonna have probably a couple of flights, and then you have to replace the whole mechanism. So if I were to design this airplane, I would have done a better job in securing these wings, or making a system where I can take the wings easily apart, so people can better transport this big plane. That's one thing. And the second one, I would have made here a bigger bigger space, so you can easily work in. Other than that, the plane seems fine. It has an interesting system here where you connect the rudder and the elevator. It's based on screws, and it flies very well. It is a very stable airplane. It seems very heavy when you the first time when I tried to launch it, I was really skeptical about if it's gonna fly or not. But it did, and it flies very well. It has a powerful motor. I'm not sure, but I think it draws about 35 amps. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly the AC specifications, because it's been a while. I had last year, I think I bought this plane, and it's been ready since then. So I don't remember exactly what's inside. Plus, I don't have access anymore. So coming back to our FPV setup, this one has the Eagle Tree systems. I'm using 2 batteries, and I'm gonna try to connect. It's not definitive, but what I try to do is put one battery just right here, and this is gonna be secured by a Velcro and stays there at CG. And also, separating batteries might be a good idea if you wanna take the noise out of your system. So right now you can see we got a nice signal. This is my receiving box. We got a nice signal, of course, we're a couple of feet away. And once we connect the Eagle Tree system, we should be able to have all systems up and ready. So, well, image is kind of, we have to put this in the right way. Okay, here we go. System is up and ready, and with the goggles, you're ready to fly. The transmitter, it's a 900 megahertz transmitter, and pay attention when you're buying the antennas for these 900 megahertz. Ask the person selling the antenna which frequency were built for exactly? Where is the center frequency? Because if you have an antenna that's been built for 900 and let's say 1, and you're using channel 2, you're already skipping, you're already off your frequency, because the channel 2, I think it's 926 or 928 megahertz. So it becomes, you know, it's gonna be inefficient. You're gonna have a lot of SWR back in your transmitter. That means heat, that means poor transmission, and so on and so forth. And things are getting even worse if, for example, I'm using channel 3 or 4, which go close to like 1 gigahertz. So ask your your antenna manufacturer which is the frequency the center frequency that antenna has been built for, and then tune, you know, try to pick a channel that's gonna be very close to the antenna. Unfortunately, you will have to probably get one of these ham licenses to be able to work within these bands, and the same thing goes for 2.4 or 5.8, whatever your amateur band is gonna be. You just have to match your transmitter frequency with the antenna length, which will correspond to the antenna frequency as well. This is my transmitter. It is also a little bit powered. It has a small 1-watt amp for 2.4. Nothing out of the ordinary. This is just a Wi-Fi amplifier. That's the camera right there. I only have pan. I don't have tilt. There we go. You can see. That's what. But also, besides this controller right here, I have a fine-tune one that I can easily center. You know, if it goes off center, so I know I can see the front of my airplane. Give me a better look. So the Eagle Tree system is in there. Everything's ready to go. I've mounted the GPS right here in the back, which I think it's a very good idea. It's a kind of away from my 800 milliwatt transmitter, and although it's close to the motor, which is going to generate some kind of field, it's great. I get perfect signal. It doesn't lose any satellites, and it's just simply great. So just a few other notes here. Be sure you are gonna get a very good receiver, and a very good receiver means pretty much an expensive one. What I'm using this Optima receiver, which is a pair for this Optic 6 radio. But nowadays there are so many radios, and very good radios out there, that you don't have to go with my setup. What I'm trying to say is, buy a good receiver, buy a good transmitter. Don't FPV with cheap stuff. You're gonna crash and lose your plane. Eagle Tree needs 3 pieces to work. Needs the OSD system, which is gonna which is putting this text, this text here on the screen. It needs the GPS to get the as you can see where it says waiting for GPS fix. It needs oh, you see these chromatic things because my let's see, my antennas are not very well in place. Now it should be better. Okay, it shows my voltage, my battery voltage right here. Got the other batteries here. This will be the altitude, of course, is 0. It has an autopilot, kind of an autopilot. It knows how to return home and some waypoints. It's not the very sophisticated one. It's the first, I mean, it's whatever the Eagle Tree system had at the moment, but it works. So I can tell you with confidence that if you're gonna buy this plane, this FPV Raptor, and you're gonna use an Eagle Tree system on it, either 1 battery or 2 fly batteries, it's gonna work. This plane is very good for FPV. It has a nylon body, see, very strong. So everything's nylon here except for the surfaces and the wings, which are foam. But other than that, it works great. You can control the see, my transmitter is only 6 channels, and I'm able to control the menus by selecting, by using one button for one channel for selection, and then my left right camera for making my selections, as you can see. So maybe some other time about how to set up this Eagle Tree system. You just make sure it's not very complicated, it's not very easy either. You just have to put a little bit of time, and you're gonna figure out. Just be patient, and it's working. I just wanna make sure people understand that it's not very hard to put together an FPV airplane. So this is it. This is the FPV Raptor, 1.6 meter wingspan with a 900 megahertz video transmitter and Eagle Tree system with GPS and autopilot, and it's just a pleasure to fly it. The range is about 2 miles. I wouldn't advise you fly more than that, and I wouldn't advise relying on the autopilot. It's good, but you will have to buy a stabilization system, some of those FMA, or I don't know what their name is, that will keep your plane level. This one does not have any kind of stabilization system, but it's very stable. The wingspan and the fact that it's built like a power glider, it's pretty stable. However, it's not going to level itself, so you need to probably invest in that if you really want to rely on the return to home function. However, for having just fun flying around, you can put a small HD camera on it, and you're good to go. You're looking at maybe $500 to $600 for the whole setup, so not very bad.